I say Ghost of Tsushima is one of my favorite games of all time, I'm not talking my top 100 or even top 50, but easily top 25, if not top 10. Ghost of Tsushima is that great, and if you've never played it before, please take some time to get to it. You likely will not regret it. But that's not the issue right now. The problem I'm seeing is something that has me extremely torn on how I'm supposed to feel right now. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. The actress that was hired to play the main protagonist in the follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yōtei, her name is Erika Ishii, an outspoken, queer, genderless, and most important, activist that is pushing an agenda across the entire entertainment industry, is something that should concern a lot of people. I don't care about what she does in the bedroom behind closed doors or what happens with the lights off. None of that really matters. What I focus on is the activism angle, what she's trying to push on other people, and how this could potentially influence the game itself. Because at the end of the day, it is going to come down to, are you able to separate the art from the artist? And secondly, will Sucker Punch be able to put out a high-quality game experience while also knowingly hiring someone like this to basically be the face of the game? I have some serious concerns. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full exhaustive article going through everything I could find in some initial research on Erika Ishii, because this person strikes me as someone who is not necessarily all there.
Can I say turfs? Can I say
Turfs.
turfs? And
The actress playing the lead in Ghost of Yōtei is Erika Ishii, a queer, genderless activist. And like I started this out with, I don't care what you do sexually, but when it starts spilling out into the activist roles, looking to change the game industry, I gotta draw the line somewhere. And while I would typically trust Sucker Punch, they have earned our respect and trust to give them the benefit of the doubt. This casting decision feels troubling, to put it nicely, especially in today's landscape, where games seem to be increasingly catering to that non-existent modern audience at the cost of narrative integrity. And I don't want to come off as, oh my god, what a bigot, he's such an horrible person, he's not even giving this person a chance. But it's like, no, this is something that has been proven time and time again. So yes, I think it is legitimately bound on reality to be concerned about what I've seen so far. I'm all for diversity when it's done right, you know, naturally. Like how Ghost of Tsushima thrived on its immersion, particularly when Jin was hardened as a samurai warrior. The idea of replacing that character with a female lead who is expected to take down armor-clad soldiers twice her size feels a little bit far-fetched, and that right there is exactly why I'm concerned about all of this. Before I even get into this actress and the insane things she said on Twitter, I can look past that if the gameplay feels right. But if you're going to put a female lead samurai warrior as the main character and then have her taking down enemies that are twice her size and, you know, the whole girl power, girls can do anything thing, it breaks the immersion. And right there, gamers do not have that. That is one of those, you don't do that. It has to make sense in the world that they've created. If it's based on stealth and she's able to take down enemies that make sense, then okay, I might be able to wrap my head around it. But what I'm seeing so far is not that. While it's not impossible to craft a believable female lead in an action-heavy game, it's much harder to pull off convincingly. If Ghost of Yōtei expects us to believe that this new protagonist can mow down hordes of burly warriors in armor without breaking a sweat, it risks breaking the true immersion that made Ghost of Tsushima so special. And you might take a step back from this and be like, well, there are female leads in other games that are badass. It's like, well, yeah. Samus, for example, comes to mind from Metroid. She has a power suit that enables her to be more powerful than an average female protagonist. And sure, you could even say some parts of Zero Mission when she loses her power suit, she's still badass, but she's a lot weaker. Like, that's the whole point of it. It makes sense in the immersion of the game. If you're going to just do it because girl power, I'm not having that. And that right there is the main reason why I'm extremely skeptical going into this, and rightfully so. It's the same concern I've had with many games as of late, an attempt to rewrite established norms without the grounding needed to make it work practically. And this is one of those situations where I saw the trailer live at the State of Play, and I was like, okay, female lead, whatever. Like, I can look past that. Let's watch the game. Give it a chance, that kind of thing. And I saw Endymion put a tweet out there after they posted the trailer where he was like, oh, great, this whole thing with the whole women girl power thing, saying Ghost of Tsushima sequel stars a Japanese woman samurai warrior, because of course it does. They can't help themselves until every franchise that was built on masculinity is replaced by women. Ghost of Yōtei is hopefully a smaller spin-off game, but if this is the true sequel and this is the new main character over Jin Sakai, F that. So sick of this forced girl boss narrative, man. I read that and I was like, bro, whoa, pull the reins back, hit the brakes a little bit. We just saw a brief overview trailer. We don't know about this. And then I found out more information about the actress, and you pair that with Sucker Punch and you wonder, did she have a little bit of influence making them feel like this is something more powerful than she really is, and they went with that narrative? And if so, who are the puppet masters behind the scenes pulling these strings and deciding why they would go with the girl boss? Because it doesn't make sense in the world that they created. I initially responded to him right off the bat saying, I think you're jumping to conclusions a tad fast on this one, which, by the way, I still stand by. That was really quick. Before I did any research, he was already saying that. I mean, he was on point, but still, it was very quick to jump to that conclusion. I'm not opposed to a girl lead for the fact it's just a girl. We just got a brief trailer. I want to see more. Would I have preferred to continue Jin's story? Hell yeah. But at this point, we don't have enough info. And I will even say at this point, we don't have enough info. But I'm just looking at the surrounding evidence around the situation and saying, it's extremely concerning, and I feel like that's very fair to say. What do I mean by when I say she's an activist? Well, let's check out this thread on Twitter. Erica said, I'd really love to see Netflix cast a non-binary or gender-fluid actor as Ed in Cowboy Bebop. It just makes sense. Which, first off, who talks like that? Unless that is the entire mentality and mantra of your mindset where you're just pushing gender fluid, which, by the way, I have to look that up because I don't even know what that means. That's how ingrained this is in this person. They're already shoving something in everyone else's faces where it's like, what even is this word that you're inventing? Spartan says, how about we prioritize good acting before gender or sexuality? And if they happen to be non-binary, great. Which would be literally the same thing I would say. The best person for the job should get the job, no matter who it is. Avoid the DEI injection. Avoid trying to prop up these other people that may not be as qualified as someone that is ready. Erica responds, I wonder why you automatically assume the best actor to portray someone non-binary would be cis. You should consider your biases. Which Spartan responds perfectly saying, I could say the exact thing to you. You should consider your biases. Notice how Erica is already saying, oh, you're assuming that a cis person would be a better actor. Where I'm looking at it like, well, you're assuming this gender fluid person would be better. Like, how about we not even have that argument and just go with the person that's best instead of just assuming someone that you're partial to is automatically better. Now remember, this is the person that is representing Sucker Punch and Sony for a major release. And this is a problem that they have on their hands. I'm letting you know right now, by choosing this person, you are dealing with the fallout and consequences, where a few years ago, people would just let it fly. Nowadays, it doesn't work anymore. People call that shit out. Erica said, I'm gender fluid, I scream as I shoulder my way past the massive line for the women's restroom and sprint straight into the men's stalls. I mean, kind of a weird thing to not only just tweet, but do? There's a lot of people that would look at that saying, no, that's not okay to go to a different restroom from the sex that you genuinely are. I mean, that opens up a can of worms, just saying it's not a great look. Or how about when she said, drunk guy got up in my space at the arcade to ask, are you single? While I'm playing a rhythm game, I shouted, dude, if you bother me while I'm playing a game, I will kick your effing ass, as my girlfriend and a femme fatale walked up to flank me. Haven't seen him since. Gotta be honest, this is the type of tweet that I would expect to see out of a Kotaku activist, not someone playing a major role in a major game coming out. And that right there is genuinely unfortunate for all gamers. People like Erika Ishii have infiltrated the industry and now are pushing their ideologies on everyone. And this is how it insidiously seeps into everyday life and becomes normalized. And that's something that should raise some eyebrows and concern people. Again, all I'm saying is it should concern you. You should be aware of what's happening right now. And Sucker Punch especially should be extremely concerned about the massive fallout that they have on their hands with someone like this leading the charge. The positive messages you learn from a story are yours alone. That the storyteller is a hateful bigot on the wrong side of history. Can't take that away from you. Trans and non-binary people are valid. Fight hatred. Don't think I've ever said the F word here, but truly, F TERFs. This person has a lot of internal turmoil that is buried deep inside of them. There's a lot of hatred, a lot of anger. And going through these tweets, I can't help but look at this as one of those situations where, ironically, she hates gamers. In fact, she hates gamers so much that she is already proactively blocking a ton of YouTubers that I know that have never even interacted with her, not so much have ever even heard of her, that were initially looking to research her, find out more about her, find out the interesting things about, their hobby that they really love, the main character of one of the beloved games and franchises that everyone talks about. And they're already proactively blocked. That type of aggressive rhetoric doesn't exactly inspire confidence. And while I'm not blocked yet on Twitter myself, I'm sure this kind of coverage will definitely be earning me that honor. And that's the unfortunate part about all of this. Someone like Erika does not want to have a conversation. They have an agenda they want to push. And if you are standing in their way and saying, I'm not a big fan of the direction you're going, you are the problem. It seems like anyone who questions her actions or words is swiftly silenced, even if they've never interacted with her at all. And if Sucker Punch isn't careful here, they're gonna find themselves caught in a crossfire of yet another culture war. And by not doing the proper research up front, they really don't have anyone to blame but themselves. Unless they did do the proper research up front and still decided to go with this person. And if that's the case, yikes. This isn't just about Ghost of Yōtei, it's about the direction the game's headed and the growing concern that's being shaped for an audience that doesn't exist, at the expense of us fans that fell in love with the original Ghost of Tsushima. And now we're in a weird predicament between a rock and a hard place where we genuinely loved the original game with all our heart, one of the best games of all time. And I genuinely mean that and stand by that to this day. And now I look at the follow-up to it and I'm just like, ugh. What are we doing? Like, why? Why is this direction the one you keep taking the games in? What is the source of power coming from behind the upper echelon that is making you decide to go this direction with a game that literally no gamer wants? The question now is whether Sucker Punch can maintain the integrity of their original vision, or if they'll let outside influences derail one of the most promising franchises in gaming. Only time will tell, but for now, I've unfortunately lost my excitement with a heavy dose of skepticism that it could ever return. And there's going to need to be a lot of work done between now and when the game launches next year in 2025 for me to get excited about it again. And that genuinely sucks because for a very long time, I was really looking forward to anything Ghost related. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article breaking down not just her tweets, additional thoughts, and some videos that I'm just like, my goodness, how could a company even hire this person? They're a psycho. Like, that's my takeaway from it. And yes, I can try to separate the art from the artist, but at the end of the day, if that artist is the person impacting the creators of the game and taking it in a direction that doesn't make sense, we got much bigger problems on our hands. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy what I'm doing, hit that join button. And as always, you stay smashing.
Can I say TERFs? Can I say
TERFs.
TERFs. And
Smash